Hello everyone, hope you're well and welcome to another video. I thought I'd change it up and give you a bit of a different setting, a different background, just to change things up a bit. So I thought I'd do a video on my favourite powders for oily skin and sort of the slight difference between setting powders and finishing powders, and just a few tips and pointers, what they are, which to use when, etc. So the powders I've got today are all my absolute ride or dies. I love them, okay? A setting powder is something that you set your liquid foundation with. So something like Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is a setting powder. This is what locks your foundation in for the whole day. Translucent, so it's not going to change any colour. It's not going to really add any coverage. It's just to set the foundation or concealer. The cheaper version is the Max Factor. These are so similar. Again, they are loose setting powders. You can get pressed setting powders or loose. I quite like the loose because you can really, it's more fine and you get more of it on your brush or sponge. I like to typically set my powder with a sponge like this. I use that end and I just tap in while it's damp, and it really helps to set foundation beautifully. Another one of my favourites is the Bare Skin Perfecting Veil. This is a pressed setting powder. It's the shade medium. It doesn't provide it provides like a minuscule amount of coverage. It's not a powder foundation. It is a perfecting veil, so it's got a slight tint to it to really help blur imperfections. This is one of my favourite powders in the world. It makes any foundation you wear beautiful. Any foundation. I don't know what it does. It gives you this Instagram soft filter. It's just gorgeous. I love it. So if I feel like I really want I don't know, super flawless base, then I like to use that. Now, you can also set with powder foundations. A powder foundation is essentially a foundation in powder form, so it has got coverage. Now, my two favorites are MAC Studio Fix. This is a powder foundation. This is a full coverage powder foundation, so you are going to get extra coverage with this. What I love about a powder foundation is to set your liquid to give you that extra coverage. You may have a bit of, things like here, I get a bit of acne and I want to cover it, and a translucent powder isn't really going to do the trick. So I like to use that over a liquid foundation if I need more coverage. The Studio Fix I have in a shade in C4, which is quite a bit darker than my skin tone, and it's really nice to use on the outer contours of the face just to create that lovely contour. Sometimes I gently bronze with it, but I typically set the outside of my face with it and then use a pressed setting powder or translucent in the middle. Now, so that's your powder foundation. You could set with a mineral powder foundation if you so choose. This is Glow Minerals, and it's a pressed powder base, just normal pressed powder base. And again, this gives beautiful coverage. So you've got your mineral veil, a perfecting veil, which gives you a soft focus sort of airbrush glow. This is going to give you coverage. It's absolutely gorge. Even the tiniest amount, it really sets makeup beautifully, but gives you that extra coverage and that extra SPF. Now, Mineral Veil, the original mineral veil, and things similar, is what I would call a finishing powder. So this is something I would use after I've set my foundation with powder and I've gone in with my setting spray. I will then use the finishing powder because it's so finely milled. It's almost invisible, to just buff over the skin, and that creates the most flawless base you're ever going to get. It stops your makeup from looking cakey, and it just helps give that, again, that filter finish. That's what a finishing powder does. Now, finishing powders can come in all sorts of tints. You can have a pink tint, a purple tint, depending on what you need from your skin. But I always feel like once you've set with your translucent, which is a lot more denser, or your setting powders, once you fix, this is the best thing to go. You will, honestly, you will thank me for it. You will get the most flawless complexion of your life. It doesn't have to be Bare Minerals, but Mineral Veil is what I call a finishing powder. I think Laura Mercier has a finishing powder to go with their mineral foundations as well. I'm not sure, because it's designed to use over powder essentially as what it is, a finishing. It kind of just blurs all the imperfections, and it's so light that it kind of, you're not adding anything, and it allows you to just furthermore buff in that makeup so it looks really one with the skin, and it just looks like perfection, especially on camera. So that is what I call a finishing powder. So those are my tried and true for oily skin. You can use these, of course, for dry skin or whatever skin you have. Make sure you've prepped your skin properly. If you have really dry skin, Studio Fix is actually really good, because I can't use Studio Fix on the center panel because it gets very, very shiny. It's a very soft, buttery powder, so it's perfect if you don't get an oily T-zone. If you do, just use it on the outside. If you have an oily T-zone, the others are perfect for it. So there you have it. I always set with a sponge because I just feel like it presses in the powder perfectly. With my finishing powder, the Mineral Veil, I will use a very soft brush and really just buff in over my makeup, and honestly the results are flawless, unbelievable. So if you've got any questions or you want me to go any further into these powders, then let me know. I hope this was helpful to some of you, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.